guys, welcome back to the channel. Robbo's Real Tech Reviews here. I recorded quite a lot of footage while deciding what to call the channel and setting the channel up with some help from the grumpy golfer. I've watched some of that footage back and I'm really not that happy with it. I think what I'm going to do with some of it is post it because I think there's some really relevant stuff in there that will help some people out, so I'm going to post it. But I wanted to apologise for the delay in me getting stuff online. So obviously I did the intro, which I think was probably a week and a half ago. Then things have gone mad at work, I've had meetings, been travelling all over the place, and I just haven't been bothered to edit stuff together. So I just wanted to apologise for the delay in getting things online for you guys to see. As I say, I'm also going to apologise for some of the content. Not the content, but basically me on camera. So there's some stuff that you'll look at and think, well, maybe that's relevant, maybe it's not. I'm not going to reshoot everything that I'd shot because there is a fair bit of it. One of the things that I'd done was I had filmed a film basically talking through all the tech that I have in the house. And when I filmed that, that was what was in the house. But things have changed somewhat. So since filming that, haven't put it online. That's the one I'm redoing now. There's a change to the networking stuff that I've got. So there's a video that will be coming out about my network setup, which was originally an Asus router, AC66. That knackered up, so I got the AC68. And you'll see in the network video that I had problems getting full home Wi-Fi coverage. I'm fortunate enough to have moved from my old house to a bigger property, which is great, but means I can't get Wi-Fi all across the house. So you'll see in that video me creating an AI mesh network with a second Asus AC68 router. That's uncovered some other problems, and there's a pretty poor video that I've done on my phone and on the desktop that I'll show you, which basically has uncovered a problem that I probably didn't know that I had in reality. So within my network there's there's 3 gigabit switches across the house, so that all rooms that I wanted to have wired Ethernet internet access have wired Ethernet internet access. So the master bedroom does, which the smart TV is plugged into. The second bedroom does, which at the moment doesn't have anything plugged into it, but I have got an Android box that I'll probably end up putting in there if anyone comes to stay, just so they've got basic TV through that. I haven't put anything into the third bedroom. There was stuff in the third bedroom originally. I thought, well, it doesn't need it, so I moved it out when I moved the office into the fourth bedroom. So I have Ethernets across 3 of the 4 bedrooms upstairs, one of those being my office, and I have Ethernets going down to the conservatory, which goes to another switch where I've got smart TV, PS4, satellite box, that sort of thing, and there's a gigabit switch in the living room where the router is. Until I configured this AI network and looked into it in more detail, I hadn't noticed until I was playing around with the Asus router that one of the ports is only giving network speed of 100 Mbps. Supposed to be a gigabit network, and it's on Cat6 cable, so it's on the correct cable, but it's been installed for 18 months now, and at the moment it's fine. I'm still getting good internet speeds, but speeds are increasing all the time, especially when you're on a fibre optic network, so I need to get it sorted. So I'll probably do a video in a few days around how to test LAN cables. I've got my friend who installed the cable nearly 2 years ago bringing his LAN tester, and I'm expecting that one of the cores has broken down, gone brittle, something like that, because it's been 18 months and it's been through 2, I don't know, relatively harsh winters, I guess, compared to what perhaps it's meant to withstand. So I'm fully expecting that I'm going to end up replacing those that particular network cable. And what my plan is to actually replace it with 2 network cables, so that I can have one wire that goes directly from the LAN port 3 on the ASUS router downstairs to the ASUS router upstairs, creating the wireless node, so I get minimum drop off of speed through the switch and everything like that. And then I'll have a replacement one go to the switch so that everyone else is getting the gigabit speeds. So that's a problem I've come across lately, and chronologically some of this channel probably will be out of sync because I'm going to upload stuff that I'd filmed before I decided what to call the channel, and before I'd had a bit of an education on how to edit things and shot an intro with the Grumpy Golfer. So this is replacing the video that I'd done originally talking through the tech that I had in the house, and I've added that much that I've actually thought I need a list of this, because if something were to happen to the house, I'm going to need to know what it is that I've lost. So I've typed it up and I've got a copy saved, mainly because I just think, well, I'm not going to remember it all, and you know, okay, you can traipse back through your Amazon account, I suppose, but how long is that going to take? So I've done a list. So I'm just going to run through what I've got here. I've done a video previously, which I will upload. It isn't fantastic, I don't think, but it will do what it's there for, and that's to do your walkthrough of the house to show you what I have in each of the rooms. So I'll get that up over the next couple of days so that you can see what I've got in the house. But in a run through of what I've got, so my main master bedroom's got the main lamp in the ceiling, which is a smart bulb. It's then got two bedside lamps that are smart bulbs. It's then got a Bose SoundTouch 10. There's a review of that that'll get uploaded. There's a Google Home Mini in there. I've done a review of that. That'll get uploaded. Then in the ensuite there's a smart bulb, and I've got a smart TV. It's not that smart because you can't install Amazon Prime. That's then meant I've installed a Fire Stick to get Amazon Prime TV on there. Although having said that, I've also got internet TV on there as well, so I've got live TV on there as well. That's working really well. Second bedroom is a guest bedroom, so not a huge amount of stuff in there. I've actually moved my NAS drive into there because I didn't have enough Ethernet ports in the office, so there'll be some more of those getting added, I think. But in the second bedroom is the main lamp, which is a smart bulb, two bedside lamps that are smart bulbs, and the NAS drive's now been added there. In the third bedroom, I've got two bedside lamps that are on a smart plug and an extension lead. The main light is a smart bulb, and then you've got the Google Home Mini in there, completely unnecessarily, but it's there. Then the office, which is my domain, which is where I'm filming this from now. I have two PCs. So my main one is the one that I'm filming this on, which I built in the beginning of 2015. So in computer terms, it's getting relatively old, I suppose, but for what I use it for, I've not felt the need at all to upgrade as of yet. So it's a PC, but it runs Mac OS, so commonly known as a Hackintosh. So the main board is an ASUS Z97 Pro Wi-Fi AC board, which I think is a fantastic board. If you were using it in Windows, it comes with onboard Wi-Fi and onboard Bluetooth. It does work within Mac OS, but it was a bit of a faff to get working, so it was easier just to add a PCI Express card that covers Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, designed for Mac, which is what I've done. It's then got an i7 4790K processor in there, running at 4.4 gig with a rather large heatsink on it. There's then 32 gig of 2400 MHz RAM in there, and an MSI Twin Frozar GTX 970 graphics card, which runs everything. And then finally there's two 500GB solid state drives in there, both Samsung 850 EVOs, and one runs Mac OS X, or Mac OS now, which is High Sierra, so on the latest version, and the other runs Windows 10, which is the latest version, but probably has a load of updates to be installed, because I haven't been into it for quite a while, because generally I use the Mac side of things more. Second PC in here is my old computer that I originally built as a Windows PC back in 2009, and that evolved and turned into a Hackintosh that was again incredibly stable. I didn't really need to upgrade it, I don't think, when I built the new one, but it was sort of on that product life cycle really, where it was 6 years old at that point and it was getting left behind. Predominantly for what I was using it for, it was okay, but of course I hadn't started doing any videos then, and I'm not sure how it would cope with any rendering of stuff or cropping stuff together. So I keep it as a backup. I keep it just to have on as well, doing anything in the background. What's probably going to happen within this office is that I'm probably going to change the desk layout somewhat over the next few months, and if I do that, I'll end up having one half will be for my PC, the main one, and I'll probably go to an ultra wide monitor, and on the other side it will be a bit of a U-shaped desk, and I'll take the wardrobes out behind me. That will then have the second PC on there for my wife to use, or for anyone else that's come round. But that is a great little machine. It's an Asus P6 TSE motherboard. As I say, it's getting old a bit now, but it does its job. 12 gig of RAM in there, 1033 megahertz. A first gen i7 920 running at 2.66 gig, and a NVIDIA GT 640 graphics card. And again, that's got a solid state on there, 850 Evo, but just a 120 gig, and it's got a 1.5 terabyte data drive in there. And that's what that is. So that's the two main PCs that I use them for various different things, but predominantly I use my newer one, obviously. The second one's is a bit of a backup, or for if anyone else is round. Although with my current desk setup, no one else can really use it at the same time, which is why I'm thinking about how to make better use of the desks. Then within the office, I also have a MacBook Pro. I've not got that in here at the moment. I think my wife's using that. She's booking our road trip to the States. So 2012 MacBook Pro 13-inch i5. I've upgraded the memory to 16 gig, and I've put a 120 gig solid state drive in there as well. It's not particularly powerful, but it runs High Sierra, and again, as a web browsing, email, messaging tool, perfect for what it is. I don't use it for any heavy duty stuff, but my wife's been booking this RV and she's been web chatting with the company to sort that out, and it's been flawless. I watched the football on it today on an internet stream through Facebook. Battery lasted perfectly for the entirety of the game, which is far more than can be said of my newer IBM ThinkPad that I have from work, which basically, if you unplug it, lasts for about 3 minutes before the battery knackers up. So really pleased with how well that's lasted. I didn't buy that new, I actually did a swap on that. I swapped an iPad 2 that I had for that with someone that wanted an iPad and didn't want the MacBook, and was happy to do a swap. Great little bit of machine. I've upgraded it to those specs, but does what I need it to do. Then in my office, I've also got another Bose SoundTouch 10. I've got four Bose SoundTouch 10s around the house, and SoundTouch 20 as well. Google Home Mini in the office as well to control the lighting. And lighting wise in here, I have an LED rope light around the back of the desk. I'm actually going to add another LED rope light that's going to go all round the skirting board in the office. But that's a job for the grumpy golfer when he's got time and when I've got time, because the whole room's going to need to be emptied and all the skirting boards cleaned with meths or rubbing alcohol in the States to make sure that the LEDs stick. And if they do, that will then mean that when I power everything off with the Google Home, there'll be 32 lights for it to control. So as you can see, it's grown quite a bit, but that's the plan in the office, is to add another LED strip light round on the skirting board. But there's the main light's a smart light. I've got a table lamp on a smart plug. The NAS drive, as I said, I've moved into another bedroom, and I've got a HP AirPrint wireless printer, and I enrolled to the HP Ink program, which I think's worked out very cheap for me and meant that I haven't worried about running out of ink, which for the first time in a long time is great, but also means that I haven't had to go and spend 40-50 quid replacing ink cartridges. I'm still probably spending the same amount, but you don't notice a couple of quid a month going out. So that's what I have in here. And then I've got my CCTV. Not going to tell you where that is, obviously, but that is something I can view from in here as well. And then bathroom's got a couple of smart lights in there, little GU10 spotlights. And if you go down to my hallway, there's an Nest thermostat, which obviously controls the heating. There's a Google Home Mini in there, which controls your initial command when you first come back in to set the lighting, which is good. And there's a little side lamp that just kicks out a bit of light. And And also in the ceiling there's motion light there, so if you don't say anything to Google, as soon as you come in, at least there's going to be a bit of light come from the ceiling light detecting motion. Then into my kitchen, couple of ceiling lights there, smart lights there, a little side lamp that's on a Sonoff Wi-Fi switch, which I've done a video of showing you how to set that up. Another Google Home Mini, another Bose SoundTouch 10, and then the living room, main room of the house. There are 3 table lamps, 2 of them are floor lamps, but 1 table lamp and 2 floor lamps, all on smart bulbs. The ceiling lights are on smart bulbs, so there's 2 of those. Then there's a Bose SoundTouch 20, a Google Home Mini, ZGEMA satellite box, an old Sky HD box that is used for Freeview, and my Samsung 55-inch smart TV. And finally I've got the conservatory. I've got a table lamp and a floor lamp that both have smart bulbs in, Google Home Mini, Bose SoundTouch 10, PS4, another ZGEMA satellite box, and a Saikai 55-inch TV. That's not a smart TV. Wireless wise, I have my very trusty and much loved iPhone 10. Just bought a new case for this, which is the Spigen Neo Hybrid, which I'm quite impressed with, and also put a JE Tech screen protector on there, so that's all protected. Love that thing to bits. The Samsung S9 Plus is coming out, and I keep looking at Android, and I'm fascinated by Android, but I love the way that Apple all integrates together. I've also got an iPad Air 2, my iPhone, my 2 Hackintosh computers, and the MacBook, and everything. You can message me on anything from those and it will come through to all the devices, which I love, which is why I stay with Apple, because that just isn't the case with Android. You don't get, I know your Facebook stuff and your Twitter stuff and WhatsApp will do that if you had Windows and Android, but you're not going to have the FaceTime, the text messages that forward to all the devices. So that's why I like Apple from that point of view. The other thing that was wireless was I had a TP-Link Wi-Fi extender, and I'm going to post the video where I reviewed that and my Zeus router, because it was in the system for a little while, but I've just taken it out. And one of the reasons I've taken it out was it was supposed to be extending my wireless signal, but I was still finding black spots upstairs, which just isn't good enough. And the bathroom, which is next door to my office, was showing low Wi-Fi signal on the 2 bathroom smart lights, and they kept dropping off the Wi-Fi. So the TP-Link wireless extender is back in the box. Unfortunately, I've missed the returns deadline, so I can't send it back. I'll probably will end up using it somewhere else in the house to boost Wi-Fi. I think I could probably do with boosting it in the conservatory, so it may well get used out there, because I'll explain what I've noticed in a minute. But that's out of the network system at the minute. What I have noticed with it is, now that I've got this wireless node, this second Zeus router up in the office, the conservatory lights, which are up right at the back of the house, are now actually connecting to the Zeus node router, which is upstairs at the back of the house, rather than connecting to the main router that is at the front of the house, but where I would have thought would have got a stronger signal in direct line. So I may put that TP-Link extender into the conservatory just to boost that a bit. But the garden lights, they've also connected up to the node, which I expected. Things in the kitchen have connected up to the node, which I expected because it's directly below. But yeah, that's all the stuff I've got in here. So I'll, like I say, I've done some reviews of these things. I think they're not the best of videos, I don't think, but I haven't got time to re-record all of them. And if it doesn't cover stuff off, ask me and I'll re-record them if you need me to, or I'll add stuff to them. But I just wanted to tell you what I have got in the house, just so you know what to expect. Videos wise that I have got, that I've sort of done, is I've done a walkthrough of the house. Now, it was done on a day where I was cleaning, so the bed sheets were in to wash and the bed wasn't made and stuff, but I'm going to post it. Probably get a bit of a telling off from my wife, but that's what wives do. I've done a full review of the Bose SoundTouch system, which I love. Done a full review of the lights, the network, the Google Homes, the Sonoff switches. Now I bought a few of these now. I think I've got 5 of these now. One being in the hallway. No, sorry, 4 of them. One being in the garden, one being on a little side lamp in the kitchen, and 2 that are on the cabinet lights I love these things because they're cheap. They're less than a tenner per switch, and they're Wi-Fi, they're Google Home compatible, they're app controlled from your phone. They're brilliant if you wire them up correctly, which you'll see in the video that I've done. I've done a couple of videos on that, one actually showing how to connect it and one actually showing doing a bit of an unboxing of it. So you'll see those. I'm going to get them uploaded, probably all of these over this weekend, because they're all there, they just need editing together. So that's what I'm probably going to do, is probably be 4 or 5 videos coming up shortly. So please like, subscribe, take a look at the videos. If you like it, pass on the detail. This is all stuff for you guys, because I just think that so many consumer products we buy are brand names. So I know with my phone, I've paid a brand name, I've paid a premium for that Apple device. I know that. I'm happy to pay that. But a light bulb, to me, is a light bulb. I don't understand why the Philips Hue light bulb is so expensive when these ones do the same thing. I'm guessing they might not be quite as bright, but they still change colour if I want them to. They still work with Google Home in the same way. I can still set scenes if I want to. I haven't done any of that because I don't think it's necessary or something that I will use that regularly. But it all works, but I've done it on a bit of a budget. So, you know, some of my products you'll see, yeah, I'll pay for the name and I pay for the brand, and that's a brand that I'm happy to pay for. But certain other things that I've paid for, like these wireless switches that are cheap, like these light bulbs that are cheaper than the alternative, and the way that I've got the Bose SoundTouch system working with the Google Homes, it's done as not as cheaply as possible, but in a way that I'm trying to keep my costs limited. So hopefully you'll get some value from that, and hopefully it will help you to make your home smarter without always going out and having to pay for the premium brand. That being said, sometimes you will want to pay for that premium brand, and I think I'm going to do that with some of my next purchases, which you can look forward to videos of. So I know that I'm going to be buying the Nest Protect smoke alarms. Now, to be fair, I haven't actually seen an alternative to those. I haven't seen, well, obviously you've got the normal beep 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 smoke alarms that I've already got installed, but I don't know if any of you cook. I'm not very good at it. I enjoy it, but I'm not a natural at it. It's not something I find particularly easy. And of a weekend, what I tend to do is that I cook the breakfast. Now, I'm constantly on a diet, and hopefully through my videos over the next few months you'll see a smaller, slimmer version of me with a bit of luck. So far I've lost 2 stone, about another 9 to go, but that's what I'm hoping to do. And I've started cooking Slimming World breakfasts on a Sunday, which is a fry up but cooked in a healthy way. But I set the smoke alarm off every single time, and I'm no good at timing the meal, and my wife ends up coming in and having to rescue things. But the number of times I've tried to do it while she's still in bed, having a lie in, thinking, oh, this will be a nice surprise, and she's got woken up to the smell of burning toast or whatever it might be, yeah, it's not ideal. So these smoke alarms make a lot of sense to me, because you can just tell them it's a false alarm audibly, not having to do the age-old trick that everybody's done of wafting with a tea towel under the smoke alarm, or wafting the nearest door trying to get the smoke out, having the extractor fan on full whack trying to get any smoke out. This allows you to just say false alarm and off it goes. So I'm hoping to get a couple of those shortly and do a review of those, but it may take a little bit of time for this because we're planning quite a big holiday, so you know, it's not all, I'm not made of money and I'm not sponsored, as I said in my intro. Other thing I'd like to get is the Ring doorbell. There's several options of this, and there's several different competitors that have brought products to market, and I'm reading a lot of reviews. Now there is a new product coming to market which I may again pay a bit of a premium for, but might be the better option for me, and that's Nest that have just brought out their own video doorbell, and I quite like the idea of that because I've got the Nest thermostat, because it would integrate with that. Because Nest are owned by Google, it will work great, or I'd expect it to work great with Google Home. Tell me, you know, Google Home to actually tell me someone was at the door or something like that. I believe it can do. So various things like that. So I'm going to look into that and I might end up with a Ring doorbell, a different option again, or this Nest one. I want to get some internal cameras, not so much just to spy on anyone that comes around. I'll have people come into the house. My father-in-law comes in. I'm lucky enough to have my next door neighbour's son come in and play with my dogs in the afternoon when he finishes school, so they're not on their own till I get home from work. But it's more to actually see what the dogs are doing in the day, and any issues that might arise in the house. There's loads of options with these. There's some really cheap cameras on Amazon that have got reasonable reviews, but I've got a really cheap camera that I bought, but it doesn't record anywhere. So I want something that records, that looks half decent, etc, etc. So again, with that, I'm potentially looking at going for the Nest internal cameras, but they're quite expensive as well. So we'll see what I go with that. I may go with the cheaper option just to see what it's like, see if it does what I want it to before committing to something there. And then once you've got that smart doorbell, smart cameras and whatever, I've already got a normal CCTV system, but once you've got all that, well, you want a smart lock to let you in and out. So there's more and more of these coming onto the market as well, so I'm gonna decide which one I want to go for and do a review of that when I get that. Now, I don't know if any of you guys have got dogs. I have two wonderful dogs. You can probably see the picture just over my shoulder. They are the calmest, quietest Jack Russells in the world. Now, most Jack Russells, people will go, oh, they're yappy little gits, they're barking all the time. These pair don't. Very rarely do you hear from them. They're very quiet dogs, very playful dogs, but they haven't got a bite in them, and they've hardly got a bark. What they have got is the ability to shed as much hair as is physically possible and still retain a full coat. Now, the number of times I've spent and the amount of time I've spent going around sweeping up dog hair to then hoover into the vacuum off my wooden floors is unbelievable. So something I'm looking into the marketplace for now is a smart vacuum cleaner. I had one before, wasn't a particularly smart one, it was classed as a robot vacuum, and it did okay. It's called a My Genie. I'm not sure where they originate from, but a friend of mine gave it to me. But that has sadly died, as a lot of machines do over time, and it won't power up, it won't take a charge. Not sure what's wrong with it, and that company seemed to have disappeared in terms of getting spares. The problem with getting spares is you've got to know what spare part you need, and I can't work out what is actually at fault at the minute. So I'm looking for an alternative, I'm looking for a new one. So if you guys have seen anything, let me know, because I'm looking for something that's going to ideally pick up all the dog hairs that I can set on an auto cycle once I go to bed in the evening. I've seen some of them can now mop, which would be great because it is wooden floors that I've got throughout downstairs, but I don't know what one to go for, so I'll be looking at that. And all the time I'm looking at that and adding that tech in, I have no doubt more tech's going to be coming out that I'm going to want to add. I was sat downstairs earlier on today before the football started thinking, I'm bored, I quite fancy building another computer. I have absolutely no need for another computer, but I may well just buy a cheap, eBay jobby of something just to mess around with, maybe upgrade it a bit, build another Hackintosh, and just as a bit of a project, just to keep me busy. But we will see. But there's loads of stuff going on. I'll get a load of videos up, and like I say, apologies for the delays, and apologies for how poorly or how well these next videos are recorded. I'm going to make sure that going forward, when I'm doing recordings, I'm probably going to get the grumpy golfer to come in and help me out, especially when I'm recording stuff that I'm actually showing you as unboxings and things like that. You don't just want to see me sat in front of the camera talking to you, explaining what I've got. So, that there'll hopefully be better videos going forward when I get new tech. Now I've got the channel set up. But for me today, thanks for signing up to subscribe. Those that have, like the video, thumbs up. If you don't, let me know what you don't like about it so I can alter it going forward. That would be great. Feedback's a gift. I can then choose to take it or not. Like, subscribe, share, and also look up the Grumpy Golfer. I never play golf. I went to play golf with the Grumpy Golfer once at the driving range, and I managed somehow to hit a vertical shot off the driving range pad tee thing that went up, hit the roof, came back down, bounced off one wall, bounced off another wall, and then went backwards from where I was stood. It's clearly not my sport. I'm built more for rugby, but really I'm not. I'm a swimmer. That was my sport as a kid. But yeah, I've played golf with him once before there, and I've had a few walks around golf courses with him. I don't know a lot about golf. I watch the Ryder Cup and I watch the Masters, which I think a lot of people do that don't really follow golf. But I've learned a lot from watching his channel, and it has made me want to take up golf. So any of you that do follow golf or want some tips, he is a pretty good player from my understanding of the world of golf. Check out the channel Grumpy Golfer. I'll put a link in the description so you can see, so you can find him. Like, subscribe that, see what you get out of that. But for today, guys, thanks for your time. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.